All right, guys, welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Sports Wrap. Michael Potter here.
Darren Phillip.
And first off the gate, some exciting news. All the games are over. We're Wednesday night, but we launched a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/fantasy sports wrap. We're going to try to drive everybody there. Tell your friends to like it. The more likes we get, the better. But anyway, when we start sending out things saying, hey, check us out, it's still going to be on YouTube, on SoundCloud. We're looking to get an iTunes shortly. But we're going to try to drive everybody right now to Facebook page. And go that direction. You can watch it on Facebook page, or you can link right to the YouTube page as well. And then also do some of your comments on that page too, back and forth.
Right.
We had some fantastic comments from your opponent, the married couple, one of the married couple, Kim
Team
Britton.
Team Britton. She was
great
going
comments.
off. Yeah, she was going off on her team after day one. Of course, they didn't have any production and hit under 200, I think. So she had her right to. But when you're ripping Paul Goldschmidt, then you're frustrated.
She said, Goldie's underperforming too. She said, well, not really, but I'm still pissed at him.
Well, today was funny because they played the doubleheader against Colorado.
That killed me.
In the first game, he was like 0 for 5, I think,
and they scored 13
4
runs.
strikeouts, and he didn't do anything.
You know who
then
did?
He struck out. Huh?
You know who did? AJ Pollock, who I was playing, scored like 5 runs, and then Aaron Hill, who. Yeah. Did you think about it? I thought about picking up a Diamondback or a Rocky. I went out and looked because I thought, man, I had one transaction left. And I thought they're going to play 2 games. But then I started thinking, are they going to let them play both games? That stuff. And I thought about Aaron Hill for that long. I was like, you know what? I don't want to mess with it. And so I picked up a pitcher instead.
Well, I looked at the Colorado situation too. And I'm just like, what if they don't play today? What if it gets rained out today? And I'm going up against Team Britain. They've got Inciarte on Goldschmidt, and then they've also got Corey Dickerson.
Right.
I'm just like going, you know what? If that, and I have I have Hundley, the Colorado catcher, so I thought I'll take that 3 for 1 if there's a rain out. And but they played both games, and Dickerson only played 1 game. It looks like he's hurt. He might even be hurt.
Oh man,
plantar
they've got
fasciitis.
A lot of hurt guys already.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they're piling up on that roster. They got 3 transactions, but I'm not going to tell them what they should do because they're beating me 6-4 right now.
Yeah, I'm playing the other married couple, Team Domorowski, and they've got 3 transactions, and they had a guy in their lineup that they could have switched around, and I'm sitting here going, should I tell them? Should I not tell them? I'm like, you know what? They're adults. I don't need to tell them. They could have made it work, but get this, dude. Here's my line today: 15 runs, 1 homer, 7 RBI, a steal, hit .392. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Their line, 10 runs, 1 homer, 7 RBI, 2 steals, hit .469. I'm just like, I'm tied with them 5-5, and I'm like, I can't win. And their pitching is like .7 ERA and a 1.08 WHIP, and I'm like,
I'm seeing that.
I even made some changes. You can look at what I'm doing. I don't have to tell you. I even made some changes based on what I've been saying, and they worked out pretty well for the most part.
You've had a couple nice pitching performances, and guys you just picked up off the waiver wire, and guys I was looking at too, but now I've got some hitting issues, lineup issues, and so I've kind of had to stack up a little bit more on hitters because Springer's injured now. And
that's a tough one too with the concussion because it's 7 days, but you don't know.
Well, I saw somewhere it was a 15. He's on the 15-day DL.
Oh, really? The initial thing I saw was a 7-day. Well, wouldn't it? I think they have a concussion protocol that you don't have to put him on the 15-day DL.
You know what?
They can put him on a 7.
Yeah, they changed the note. It's 7.
Yeah,
because it said 15 earlier. So
if he's not back to his baseline by 7, they'll just stick him on another 7.
Right. Yeah. So then I got to decide what I'm going to do.
They're not messing around with concussions anymore.
Nope. I guess he ran headfirst into the wall. Or something like
did you see it?
I didn't see it. No.
Man.
It was bad, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Just
did he catch the ball?
I don't even remember that. I just saw that as he hit it. The thing is sometimes it's not as how fast you do, but when you're reaching or when you kind of get all crooked and everything.
Yeah.
And it kind of led with the head. Yeah.
Oof,
but yeah, you've got some hitting issues that that really hampers what you can do with your pitching staff. You got to kind of stand back because you got to use your 3 transactions. You got to use them for what you need the most. And right now, you need the hitters.
I do, absolutely. And I've got some guys that just aren't hitting either. So, but anyway, it's going to be a dogfight. I'm having a good week. 22 runs, 9 homers, 18 RBIs through 3 days.
You'd be killing everybody in homers. you'd be beating almost everybody in runs and RBI. I mean, I've got more runs and RBI than that, but most everybody else doesn't.
I'm leading in homers, the league.
Oh yeah,
You
you're
know,
leading by 2 over 2 in Pride, and then everybody else you're leading by 4 or 5.
I could carry steals, but Britain they put up a bunch of steals last week, and I think they got some guys that can swipe bags. So, and batting average is kind of a toss up right
Yeah.
now. ERA and WHIP are both toss ups, but I've had some guys that just pitch horrible. And the guy I traded for, Garrett Cole, of course, he goes out and has his first bad outing of the year.
I'll
I'm
trade
just
you
like,
for him if you want, because he's good. He's not going to do that much anymore.
well, I don't. You can trade me something besides a closer?
That's all I got. That's all I got. That's what anybody wants.
Yeah, I'm not
You know what's
interested
interesting about this week is there's a lot of tight matchups. Me and the married couple Domorowski, you and the married couple Britton. Tower and Pride has a really nice matchup going, like 5-4-1 Pride right now. But the numbers are all very close in almost all those matchups in enough categories to make it a very close tie. And you look at Slammers; he's looking to get out ahead of this league. He's up
He's
7-2.
looking to run away with this thing. Yeah,
But
yeah.
Pat made a nice comeback today. But
He
then
did.
the biggest one is, man, Docs and Jocks is putting it to Mounties.
Unbelievable.
That's surprising.
Yeah, but that's good for you.
It's great for me.
Well, Docs and Jocks bumps them up, them up, but Mounties comes back down to the rest of the pack. So
Yeah, I really need that to turn out to be a 5-5, and I need to pull out like a 7-3 or something like that, or a 6-4. But here's a question: how do you feel about your team? Like, do you feel like you're kind of close to where you need to be? Are you on the right track? Or are you still kind of certain guys you're like, I'm not sure about that guy. I'm not sure about that guy.
I'm a little frustrated with the whole pitching situation. I just haven't been able to get a handle on it. I made the one trade. I've looked around at other rosters as far as moving a closer. I just don't know if I want to do it because it seems like anybody on any given night can get lit up, and that can just screw up your week.
Right.
I look at my roster. You want Pedro Alvarez?
You
I
have
don't.
this look on your face like you're disgusted. You and Kim, we need to have like a rant off, like put you guys side by side, because you'd be like,
As
you
we
think
just-
your team's bad? Let me talk about my team.
Yeah, just the self-deprecation, just ripping your own team.
That's hilarious.
I can't really complain, and my production's really good. I'm just a little disappointed in some of the. I picked up Matt Adams for this week, and I figured he'd sit against occasional lefties. Dude, they sit him against every single left-hander. And Mark Reynolds hits a couple balls out, and it's just like going, oh, great. So that's been a frustrating move, and I had to put him on the bench today. In 2 days, when he faces Liriano, he'll be back to the bench. But I made a couple other pickups. Andrelton Simmons on Atlanta has been hitting the ball very well. I picked him up, and finally one of my pickups panned out right away. The guy went 3 for 4 with a homer today. So overall, I can't be too disappointed. But in fact, I'd have to say this week, I feel better about what I'm doing offensively because I'm not just tying up my transactions with pitching.
Right.
I'm actually giving myself a little bit of flexibility, and I kind of had to. And that's kind of the part of the game that I enjoy doing is picking up guys that are hot. I kind of sat on some stuff earlier in the year. I could have had Kendrys Morales. I could have had Stephen Vogt. Slammers picked up both of them because I was just kind of sitting, thinking around. I don't know what I was doing, probably messing around with pitchers or whatever. And I'm just not, I don't know. I don't know if picking up pitchers is really, it might be kind of overrated depending on who you're playing. Because, before we went on, I was telling you, it's kind of luck of the draw sometimes.
Yeah.
You could be going up against a team that's got 4 or 5 double starters. And if you don't, where are you going? I mean, you could pick up a couple guys off the scrap heap, that are going to have 2 starts, but is that really going to help you out, especially if you're going up against a decent staff? So, I mean, for me, it's going to be kind of a week-to-week situation. Looking ahead, see who I'm playing. This week, I think I'm pretty much dead in the water with wins and strikeouts. I'm down 3 wins already. I'm down about 19 strikeouts, 17 strikeouts, I think. I've got 4 starters left. They've got 4 starters.
Yeah.
But they've got 3 transactions. They can always pick up more pitchers, too, if they need to. So that's pretty much a...
So the answer, the long answer to that question is no. you're not happy.
I say yes and no. Yes and no. I'd say the pitching is.
You know
really
what though? That's a
frustrating.
problem. If you're yes and no, then you kind of keep flip flopping back and forth. But if you're not comfortable with these 3 transactions, it's tough to fix it quickly. Like, I mean, look, I'll be flat honest with everybody. I was talking about maybe I switch, maybe I go after pitchers, maybe I make some trades, and Kim Britton actually, Team Britton gave me the best advice. Her comment was, haha, Mike, that's very funny. It's worked 2 out of 4 weeks. yeah, it is working for you, quote unquote, if you want to be middle of the pack. And I went, holy crap, she's right. And so I've started making a change. So my thought process now is I wonder if I can make the change and not go after top line guys, maybe not have to trade in my closer away, but can I get enough guys where I can quote unquote steam every week? If I like my lineup, which I do, I like my lineup. I don't know what I want to trade. I like Phillips better than Andrus. I'll probably end up dropping him. I'll probably drop Fowler. It gets me hung up if a guy gets hurt on a Tuesday or Wednesday or if they miss days. But if I like my lineup and I can have 3 spots as pitchers, it'll take me 3 weeks to get 9 guys that I want.
Right, right.
And I'll be ready to go.
That's the key. You got to be happy with your lineup offensively, you
Right.
know. And if you're not, if you're constantly having to try to interchange, you can't do that, what you're trying to do. But if you're happy with your lineup, you can just roll with it, you know. I had some constraints this week, so I held out on that Lance transaction because I'm just like, I don't think it's going to help me this week, number one, to pick up a pitcher. So
Right.
I might as well keep it. And I picked up a good guy for today. So a guy that's been hot.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I'm still open for trades, but I was looking at it. You traded Soria for Cole. Before that, we had Chapman for Strasburg. No, I talked to buddies that play in different types of leagues, and they're like, people are trading top line starters, first, second round starters for a closer, and they don't get it. And I'm like, well, and I told them about our league, and they said, well, in your league, closers are probably more valuable because 2 or 3 guys have all of them. He said,
Right.
in my league, they're like, everybody's got 2 or 3. I said, well, in
Right.
our league, I got like 7, Darren's got like 6, and then Dale's got like 3 or 4, and Mounty's got 3, and everybody else has like none or 1. I mean, but I looked at a trade with Dox and Joxon. They're sitting there going, why would we trade you one of our top line pitchers like a Kershaw or a Price to get after guys only going to give us one category? And I'm like, you know what? It's working for them. I mean, you look at their stats, like this week especially, their guys are pitching. They're going to get they're dominating Mounties in ERA, WHIP, strikeouts, wins. So, everybody's got their own way of going about it, and everybody knows what's valuable to them or not. But I might not trade. I might keep my guys because I like winning saves, and it's stupid. I don't know why, but I like it.
It is fun winning a. You're not going to get shut out. I'm not going to get shut out. Unless we're playing each other because.
Right.
I'm up 5-0 in saves. Britain's got nobody. They've got no closers whatsoever. Now, the one thing too that could come in handy is, maybe sometimes you can vulture a win with one of your closers. That can happen, which
I've
is
done that a
helpful.
couple of times with Houston Street and forget one other guy. Might have been this week that vultured me a win.
And if you got good closers that are going to come in, they're going to help your ERA and WHIP, especially if you don't have a lot of innings. They'll drive it down quickly.
Right.
I mean, that happened last week where I almost pulled off winning both of them over slammers. Except on the last day, I got roughed up a little bit. Shields got roughed up, and it cost me. I think it cost me ERA. But anyway, last week I took 3 of the 5 pitching categories against the guy with somewhat of a bullpen and better starters than I have. So that got me to thinking: is this really then? Am I going to get dominated in pitching by every team that has good starters? No, because if they get 1 or 2 that get blown up, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
And I got saves.
Well, and
up.
we talked about it. You're trying to kind of rebuild your offense, maybe not by trades, which you could. I mean, you could trade a closer, or even Garrett Cole if you want to get rid of him. You could trade Garrett Cole for some good hitters if you want to go that route.
Right.
But my thing, I have a little bit of a plan. I told you about it. I'm not going to tell everybody else about it because I don't want you picking up my guys. And you might pick up my guys, but whatever. But I'm kind of looking for a specific type of starter and see if you're out there, look at who I've been picking up and see if you can figure it out. But I'm after kind of a specific kind of guy who meets a specific type of criteria based on some very specific statistics. That's all I'm going to say because I'm got 18 wins overall. So
Yeah.
no more advice. But
That's it.
I would say early leader in the clubhouse for the buzzsaw of the week is Dox and Jocks of what they're doing to Mounties. But you look at their numbers. And they'd be down, to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and I mean, so we might not have enough. We might be buzzsawless again this week. I don't know.
We might be. Yeah. No one's really. I'd like to see my team really just take off and just put it to Britain here. I really would. But they're tough.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys. If you seriously, Kim's comments were really funny.
They were funny. It was
and you
really
know what?
good smack talk.
If you're listening to this, we want to try to get all that stuff going on the Facebook page. It's facebook.com/fantasy sports. If you have a rant to go on, take your phone tape yourself doing your little rant, and then email it to me or Darren. And we might be able to use pieces of it in as we put up here, and because if Kim had taped that, we would have played it for you.
Oh
today,
man, that would have been great.
Just reading it was cracking us up.
Yeah,
it was.
Seeing her,
she got jabs in at me. She got jabs in at Darren. She ripped her team. She got jabs in at her husband, talking about how you can't take down a married couple because only one of the people in the marriage, has the brains anyways. And it was just like, oh my gosh, she hit everybody in that rant. So
she did. She was like you said, she was on tilt that night.
That was awesome. Rare form. But hey, man, good luck the rest of the way, Darren. And we'll do this again, at the end of the week and see how things go.
Okay, that sounds great.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.